now I've got the car back on the ground. I'm kind of taking a pause from the other things I'm working on, and I'm actually going to check and see if I've got full steering angle. So something that was going on was this thing was actually binding really close to full lock, and what I think it was that the adjustment knob on top of the coilovers was actually impacting the strut tower, because as it goes through its range of motion, with these being caster plates for an M3, it gets really close to the edge. And I have these reinforcement plates in there, and it makes it a little bit smaller, the hole in the top of the strut tower. So it's impacting them, and so I think that might have been it. Hopefully, I'm praying that it was it. And so now we're gonna do a little angle test and see what happens, and if it's not it, it's not the end of the world, we can fix it and we'll go from there. But let's give it a try.
So what you'll see here is that actually I'm still experiencing some sort of steering bind just before full lock, and what I've actually come to realize is that that is simply the tire hitting the inside of the frame rail. I'm running a 215/40/17 on a 17x8 plus 38 front wheel with a 25mm spacer, and with this SLR Super Angle kit, unfortunately even with that setup I'm still rubbing. So we've still got some work to do. I don't know exactly how I could possibly massage the inner frame rail in. Don't really know if I want to do that or if it's worth it, or if I might just run the rack stops. But anyways, more on this later.
What is going on, guys? It has been a few days since those last clips. I hope you guys are having a great day. We have so much to do on the car, and I can't lie, I'm kind of stressed out about getting it all done, because it's all just like that nitpicky stuff where it's like the last, I don't even call it 10%, we're in the last like 2%, and a lot of the stuff that needs to happen is just adjustments. And I'm honestly a little nervous about one thing I have to do, which is clearancing those inner rear quarter panels. I'm super anxious about that right now. Because I gotta whack them with a hammer, blocks of wood, all sorts of stuff, and I really don't want to mess up the outer skin, but there's no other option. We literally have no choice but to do this. So I have a lot to do. I want to get it done. I'm dying to be able to drive this car around, and I'm tired of looking at it sitting in here and not having anything to do with it. So we're gonna knock it out. A lot of what I'm probably gonna do, I'm probably just gonna spread these clips out over a large period. There's gonna probably be stops and points in between, and we're gonna bounce back and forth. It's not gonna be super cinematic or beautiful, but that's just the only way any of this is gonna get done. I showed the list in a previous shot, but this is just some of the things that we needed to take care of. Some of them are minor, some of them are major. And another thing too, the car is actually getting a new windshield tomorrow, so I need to make sure that for the glass guy, I have the wiper cowl out, I have the wiper blades off, I have the hood in service position. So that's something I'm gonna have to get prepared for, that's on top of all of this. So, like I said, we got a lot to do. Hope you guys enjoy this little back and forth, you and me talk on me working on my car, and let's go ahead and get started. I have no idea what you're about to see next.
Please God to save the life that the devil sold. See, it was written but was never told. Keep the Jews black, man, it's even better than gold.
Alright, so it's been a little bit, and if I look stressed out, it's because I am. So, what I just did was actually come in and actually hammer out the inside of my quarter panel. The reason for that is with this big chunky 235, you can probably see, like I mentioned, along the sidewall, I was rubbing the inner layer of the sheet metal pretty bad, and I am committed to staying stock body on this thing, so I am willing to try anything and everything to make this stock body work. And while this wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, I think that I did a pretty good job at not changing the outside shape of the quarter panel. And if you're looking at this and saying, well, someone already has, It wasn't me. Someone rolled these somewhat poorly before I got the car, and you can even see right there, like there is a Bondo crack in the quarter panel. Again, nothing that I did. This car just has had a rough life, but anyways, so coming in here, so I essentially just came in here with a ball peen hammer and just pushed the area that the wheel was rubbing up against the body of the car. And if you're wondering why it's bare metal, the tire essentially did that. I didn't like grind it back or anything like that. So essentially it did, I do think it did somewhat move the quarter panel on the outside. So I just want to be real with you guys here. I don't think that this is perfect, but again, like I said, from just about 99% of the angles, nobody is ever going to be able to tell that this quarter panel has had as much work done to it as it has, and it's so modified from factory. So I think it's a win, but anyways, let me show you guys the tools I did this with, and then we'll walk through the process on the other side. I just didn't want to film this side because it was so stressful. So really what I did is very simple. Obviously take the wheel off, and then I just went in there and I used this heat gun, and I got this at Harbor Freight. It's just, let's see, a Warrior heat gun. I don't even think this was $10. And essentially I just put it on the highest setting, and I just went in and heated up the part of the quarter panel that I wanted to massage. And then after that, once the metal got just about too hot to touch with my hands, I took this ball peen hammer, also a Harbor Freight tool. This is a 32 ounce, let's see, Pittsburgh 32 ounce ball peen hammer. And the ball end is what's really gonna massage the metal. And like I said, the best way to probably do this is to just get your tires on here. If they're rubbing, let them rub so it shows you exactly where you're gonna need to push. And then I just went in and very gingerly just began to tap and work the metal outward. Now, here's the thing. So there's not that much space. Like the two layers of sheet metal that make up the quarter panel are relatively close together. It's probably something about like that, right? Now, my biggest fear was that I was going to be hitting in here with that ball end hammer, and that I was going to suddenly see a dent pop up in the quarter panel. And I mean, I beat the crap out of this other quarter panel, and nothing. Again, like I said, this whole bottom lip might have moved some. You need to be prepared for that. Except, here's the thing. I think what happened on this quarter panel is that because I've shaven this lip, there wasn't enough structure to hold the two pieces together, which is why it probably moved a little bit. And so honestly, if I was doing this, what I would probably do is actually wait to shave the inner lip out until after you hammered in the inner sheet metal of the quarter panel. So I can't go back and undo that, and I didn't ever have to hammer this one's inner quarter panels because I've always done like stance setups on this and never had like an upright zero camber big tire. I mean, even this one's pretty upright, but there's a lot of gap, like I have it sunk in so it's not rubbing. But if you want to have good fitment on big tires, this is just a thing you need to do. So my advice to you is probably wait to shave the lip out until you hammer the quarter panel. So it'll actually have that lip there to hold it together. And then once you can verify you're not gonna rub up there, then come in and shave the lip out. But anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to this other side. Sorry to do so much talking. I'm gonna try to prop the camera up and we'll do a small little time lapse, but this is just something I don't really love to be filmed doing because it's so stressful, and like, I don't like hitting my car with a hammer. If you know me, that just freaks me out. But anyways, let's keep going, I guess. So now I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna run it all along the inside, and I'm just gonna feel how the metal's moving. It's never gonna be perfectly smooth, but I just wanna see how it's like actually starting to come out. And just in that first pass, we made really good progress. But again, I'm not like sledgehammering this thing. I'm not like beating the crap out of it. I'm really just gently asking the metal to move. I'm like, hey, come on, it's time to go home. It's time to go home. And I'm just gently pushing the metal outward. Also, I just realized it's super dark. Sorry about that. Automatic settings on the camera aren't exactly always the best.
Something must have got in us, cause all of us turn to sinners. Got some resting in peace and some are sitting in San Quentin. Others such as myself are trying to carry on tradition, keeping this weapon best and street ghetto westerns inside us, cause it provides us with the proper insights to guide us.
Alright, so now we are going to check and see if the fitment works with a good old paper test. First we need to... Alright, so I got a block of wood on the jack. We're just going to see. What I'm going to do is just compress this bad boy up. There we go. So I got the car actually off the ground with that. And now I'm going to just do... This is probably the worst way to check ever, but I have my SLR paper with all the torque specs, and I'm just going to run it in here. I did this on the other side. Run it in here to see if I can get paper through. And I know that if I can get paper through, then we've got clearance. And what do you know? We got clearance. Alright guys, sorry about me looking super rough. Just got the car back together and on the ground, and as you can see, this thing looks freaking awesome. So it is super late, but I just can't resist. I think this might be the first test drive in which I'm not rubbing the sidewalls off the rear tires. I also lowered the front right a little bit because I noticed it was sitting up a little higher. I still think it needs a little more, and obviously this thing still needs me to do a basic eyeball alignment. Even though I've already done one, I've made some changes, and I think it needs just a little bit more tweaking. But it's more than good enough, I think, for a road drive. And so since it's so late, I'm not gonna record anything in the car. I might record like a phone clip or two if anything is interesting. Hopefully nothing is interesting, because that probably won't be good. But I'm gonna go take this thing out real quick and I'll report back. Check in with you guys here in a second. This thing just wants to go. I love it. That's a smile on my face if you can see it. We have a very successful test drive. Hang on, I'm pulling in the driveway, but you might hear something. Listen closely. Nope. So the front is rubbing now a little bit, which is weird because it wasn't before. But I mean, I think I can handle raising the front up just a tiny bit. The absolute bare minimum. Wow, this is a weird angle on me. Anyways, good first test drive, and now it's time to go get the front wiper cowl and all that taken apart because Safelite is coming tomorrow to replace my windshield, which I'll show you. It actually just cracked more. What's up, guys? It is a new day. I am dead exhausted. And I gotta make this really quick because what's about to happen right now is Safelite is about to come and replace the windshield on the M3. So real quick, let me just show you what I did. I got the hood in service position. So if you don't know, all you need to do to put the hood in service position is just take out the little Torx screw that normally goes right there. And so after you do that, the hood can actually sort of pivot forward just a little bit, and it just gives you nice and easy access to everything that is necessary to get the windshield out. So I also removed the wiper cowl because I've got a brand new one ready to go on. I took off the wiper arms, which was actually really easy. I cleaned underneath here, of course. And so basically, I mean, that's pretty much it. So now obviously that the hood is in service position, it wants to fall because it's just not on its normal path and the struts can't hold it up. So I've just got a box there to kind of have everything in the right spot. But anyways, yeah, so it's about time. This windshield has been completely cracked since I got the car. You can't really see it, but it goes all the way over there. Yeah, you can sort of see that. But yeah, so it's about time we're gonna get a fresh windshield. I don't know if I'm gonna film him actually installing it or not. I don't know if he's gonna wanna be on camera, and if he doesn't, that's perfectly fine. But if so, I might set up a little time lapse. And yeah, let's get a new windshield on this thing. Nice. Didn't quite go to plan. So unfortunately, the installer came here and he was absolutely fantastic, don't get me wrong. However, two problems. On my insurance, I requested an OEM windshield. The one he had was not. It even says on the work order that I wanted an OEM. And then he also didn't have the actual gasket, the BMW gasket that goes around the windshield. And so I was gonna have an aftermarket windshield with an aftermarket universal gasket. And if you know me, that's not me. So what we decided to do was just go ahead and remove the windshield, and he's actually gonna come back. And right now I actually went down to my local BMW dealership because I wanted it to come as fast as possible because we're coming up on Christmas and I really wanna drive this thing. But I've got the gasket on the way, and I've also got, I'm gonna work with him and work with Safelite and my insurance to see if I can get them to get an OEM windshield because I requested it. They said they'd pay for it. And sure enough, they didn't. This is how it just goes. But anyways, the car is unfortunately she's looking a bit sorry for herself right now. I feel so bad. All this crap up in here. Man. But it is what it is. And this is just sometimes what happens. I like to believe everything happens for a reason. Maybe it wasn't time for me to go drive the car yet. Maybe it was time for just a little bit of slowdown. Maybe it was time to just take a break. But this is where we are. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys are having a great Christmas season. It is a great time of year. I always love this time. I love giving people gifts and I love seeing people smile. I also kind of like the things people give me because people always give me the best stuff, and I love spending time with my parents and family. Usually when I say the best stuff, underwear and socks. You guys, you men know what I'm talking about. This is the time of year where we actually get to fix the holes in our underwear and our socks. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great Christmas season. Much love, and keep your heads up, and I will see you guys soon. Peace out. Oh, and P.S. I am most definitely doing a burnout or a donut or something where I'm burning some tires in the next video. You have my word. Peace out.